All right, so I want to talk a little bit about gratitude for spouses. I know that this seems like such a easy thing for most people. This is something that it shouldn't have to be reiterated to them. But what happens in marriages is you get comfortable. You get in this kind of flow, if you will, of what happens. The problem is that flow isn't necessarily super productive, and it may not be what is good for the marriage. So you'll have different roles that the husband and the wife take on. And with those roles, what happens is the gratitude for those roles doesn't always come out. So for example, if I worked a long day at work, I come home and my sweet wife has cooked dinner, the house is clean, she busted her butt. It's easy for me to see that and to be grateful for that. It's yes, that is something that she does often, but I have no idea what she went through throughout the day to get our home in that state. I have no clue what her day looked like because I wasn't with her all day. I can tell you right now that the summertime when our kids are home, it is a whole heck of a lot harder to get all that stuff done than when our kids are at school and she has some time that she can get her stuff done. So I don't know what that looks like. Now, different scenario. Let's say that I come home, kids are crazy, the house is destroyed, stuff everywhere, no food on the table, no clue what we're even going to have for dinner. And I get frustrated. Okay. Not saying that happens all the time, but it does happen from time to time in the Lee household. So let's say that happens. Am I still going to be grateful for my wife? Am I still going to be grateful for the things that she went through and all the pieces of her puzzle that I have no idea what happened throughout the day? Yeah, I'd love to say that I'm perfect and that every time I express gratitude. What happens is that if you're not expressing that gratitude, those hard days become just that much harder. Now, I know that there's been times for me to learn and to grow. And luckily, I have a wife that we communicate and we can express things to each other in a safe place. And she definitely brought it to my attention of the fact that I don't know what goes on. I don't know the conversations that she had with our kids. One of the things that I didn't realize for a stay-at-home mom, when those kids come home from school, that I'm trying to figure out an equivalent of that. That's probably my equivalent of when I first get to work and everything kind of gets piled on me all at once. With a stay-at-home mom, or even if she's not a stay-at-home mom, but she is getting her kids and bringing them home from school, that's kind of their dump mode, if you will, and they dump everything onto that mom. And that's got to be extremely taxing. When I look at that and I look at, in my world, I deal with a lot of adults. I'm not dealing with children. Those kids don't have the same filter. They also don't understand sometimes why they're acting the way that they do. And so what you'll see is not only do those moms get dumped on, they get dumped on with extra emotions and extra feels. And so as husbands, if we come home and we can realize that and be grateful for not just for the house being clean or dinner on the table or those kind of temporal things, but if we can appreciate who our wives actually are and what they bring to the table and all of those little pieces that we may not understand. Here's a novel idea. Why don't you ask her? Now, don't come home and say, "Oh man, what did you do all day?" I'm pretty sure every husband on the planet makes that mistake one time, and then after that, they're done. They don't make that mistake again. But ask her, like, "Hey, what are some of the hardest parts of your day? What does your day look like? Your day to day? How does it feel when the kids come home? And how can I show up for you when I come home that's going to help?" Now, I'm going to do some other videos here on the male side of this, because there is a disconnect. There's definitely a disconnect between how males will view the situation and females will view the situation. The nurture that goes in versus the estrogen versus the testosterone in men and women definitely play different roles. And so there are some different things that happen with that. So in a nutshell, Be grateful for your spouse. Be grateful for what they're bringing to the table and what the partnership actually looks like. But if you're not communicating all those things, then you are going to be at a strong disadvantage because you're not going to see those opportunities to be grateful for all these little things. So hope that helps, and catch the next video.